Owens' firing from a supposedly pro-free speech outlet did leave some wondering if it was an act of censorship.
I'm not going to go away. I'm going to use my God-given voice to talk about the things that are important for me.
The fallout from Candace Owens' ouster from the Daily Wire continues with more pro and anti-Candace voices.
That's not what Candace has done. Candace has expressed opinions that I disagree with.
You did not think this tweet was anti-Semitic. You did not think that he wrote this tweet because he hates or wants to genocide. I'm just asking to be left alone, or at least just report the truth.
Anti-Semitic controversy. All right, buckle up, folks. We've got some juicy news in the world of conservative media. Candace Owens, the fiery right-wing commentator who's never shy about stirring up controversy, has officially bid adieu to the Daily Wire, the brainchild of none other than Ben Shapiro himself. Now let me set the scene for you. This split didn't just happen overnight. Oh no, it's been brewing for months, like a pot of coffee left on the burner too long. Why? Well, let's just say Candace's penchant for pushing the envelope hit a nerve when she started dabbling in some seriously contentious territory, promoting ideas that many labeled as downright anti-Semitic. Yep, you heard that right. Anti-Semitic. As you can imagine, feathers were ruffled, tensions soared, and the Daily Wire found itself in a bit of a pickle.
Owens' firing from a supposedly pro-free speech outlet did leave some wondering if it was an act of censorship.
The fallout from Candace Owens' ouster from the Daily Wire continues with more pro and anti-Candace voices.
Why wouldn't he just fire you?
Well, as I explained on Tucker Carlson's show, Ben doesn't have the power to fire me. I'm not going to go away. I'm going to use my God-given voice to talk about the things that are important for me.
Enter Jeremy Boring, the CEO of the Daily Wire. Sensing the need to do some damage control and maybe salvage a bit of the old reputation, he made the call to cut ties with Candace. Tough call, but sometimes you gotta rip off the Band-Aid, right? In his announcement, he made it clear it was time to address the controversy head-on and stick to the values the site holds near and dear.
Weird rift between them over Israel that's been a growing source of discomfort for many of us watching it.
That's not what Candace has done. Candace has expressed opinions that I disagree with.
Where she's gone more and more, it seems to me, pro-Palestine, accusing Israel of a genocide.
Spilled out into the public square, which is going to happen from time to time. I wish it hadn't happened the way that it did.
But what about Candace herself? Well, she didn't waste any time taking to the digital streets, airing her thoughts and feelings on social media. And guess what? She's feeling finally free. Now, before you start conjuring up images of birds soaring and chains breaking, let's keep it real. She didn't spill the tea on why exactly she's feeling so liberated, but hey, that's Candace for you, always leaving us hanging with a cliffhanger. Now let's zoom out for a second and take in the bigger picture. This split isn't just another run-of-the-mill celebrity breakup. It's got implications. It's throwing fuel on the fire in the ongoing debate about anti-Semitism and its tangled relationship with conservative media. So grab your popcorn because this roller coaster ride is far from over. Clash of views. All right, folks, we're diving into the clash of the titans, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, and boy is it a doozy. Two heavyweights in the conservative arena, each armed with their own set of beliefs and opinions. Now let's zoom in on the source of their rift, anti-Semitism, and the Israel-Palestine conflict. Cue the dramatic music. So here's the deal. Candace Owens found herself in hot water for stirring a pot a bit too vigorously. She started tossing around conspiracy theories and dropping some seriously inflammatory remarks about our Jewish friends. Needless to say, feathers were ruffled and eyebrows were raised. But hold on to your hats, because here comes Ben Shapiro, the Jewish defender of all things Israel. He wasn't about to let Owens off the hook that easily. Nope, he publicly called her out, condemning her statements faster than you can say controversy.
Ben has the right to be upset about that. Ben, I think Candace is wrong when she says, Ben's been acting.
He told me, well, the tweet that he responded to was actually just some biblical passages.
Mm-hmm. Everyone knows Ben's history and his connection with Israel and how he's been one of the leading voices.
Because, there was a video circulating of him calling me a disgrace and a faux professional or whatever it was.
And just like that, the stage was set for a showdown of epic proportions. Think of it as a modern-day duel, but instead of pistols at dawn, it's tweets at dawn. But here's the thing. This clash isn't just about two individuals duking it out. It's shining a spotlight on the broader divisions within the conservative movement. We're talking foreign policy, attitudes towards minority groups, you name it, they're butting heads over it. And as if that weren't enough drama for one day, this clash is throwing a spotlight on the struggles of conservative media organizations. Yep, they're grappling with the challenge of keeping the peace while navigating the ever-changing landscape of politics and society. So, there you have it, a clash for the ages. Will Owens and Shapiro bury the hatchet? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, this ain't the last we've heard of this feud. Daily Wire ends relationship. Let's peel back the curtain and take a closer look at why the Daily Wire decided to cut ties with Candace Owens. Spoiler alert, it's been a bumpy ride. First off, this wasn't a decision made on a whim. It came after months of soul-searching and heated debates behind closed doors. You could say the Daily Wire team had a lot on their plate, and Candace's controversial antics only added fuel to the fire. Now, let's talk about those antics. Candace wasn't exactly playing it safe. She started dabbling in some seriously touchy subjects, like promoting ideas that many labeled as anti-Semitic.
It's also not surprising to see that all across college campuses in America, they are explicitly anti-Israel.
To show that even though there was reporting that was pro-Israel, hey, we had this other host at the Daily Wire that was saying something else.
Now, we could discuss this phenomenon and we could be inauthentic and we could just say, well, obviously what's happening. Peace, calling for peace, because, there was a video circulating of him calling me a disgrace.
And when you've got one of your star players veering off into murky waters like that, it's bound to cause a few headaches. But here's where things really hit the fan. Her public spats with none other than Ben Shapiro himself. Ben, being the staunch supporter of all things Israel that he is, wasn't about to let Candace off the hook. Cue the Twitter wars and passive-aggressive subtweets. Now, when you're running with a media empire like the Daily Wire, you've got a reputation to uphold. Enter Jeremy Boring, the CEO who made it crystal clear. It's all about integrity. In a world where controversy is just a click away, maintaining those values is non-negotiable. But here's the kicker. This split isn't just about one person walking out the door. Nope, it's got people questioning the future of the Daily Wire. How will they navigate these choppy waters? What's their plan for addressing sensitive issues like anti-Semitism moving forward? It's a tangled web they've found themselves in, and there are no easy answers. So, there you have it, the inside scoop on why the Daily Wire and Candace Owens are calling it quits. It's a cautionary tale about the perils of managing ideological differences and trying to keep the peace in the wild world of conservative media.
I'm just asking to be left alone, or at least just report the truth. It's food for thought, right? And I think, again, there have been enough people that are speaking out. I decided to choose peace, and then when I chose peace, he responded to the peace.
Jeremy Boring announced that unrepentant anti-Semite Candace Owens will no longer be working.
Owens embraces freedom. Guess who's spreading her wings and flying solo? That's right. Candace Owens is embracing her newfound freedom post-Daily Wire, and boy is it causing a stir. In a move that surprised many, Owens took to social media to announce her liberation from the conservative news outlet. And let me tell you, she's not holding back. There's a palpable sense of excitement in the air as she teases what's to come in her career. Now I know what you're thinking. What's next for Candace? Well, she's keeping us all on the edge of our seats, with promises of many announcements in the weeks to come. Talk about a cliffhanger. But one thing's for sure, she's ready to shake things up and carve out a new path for herself. This post-Daily Wire era isn't just a turning point for Candace, it's a whole new chapter unfolding before our eyes. Gone are the days of towing the company line. Now, she's free to explore new opportunities, take risks, and maybe even ruffle a few feathers along the way.
Candace has been quite vocal in an anti-war stance both on Ukraine and has carried over a lot of that consistency.
Commentator took to her own X account, posting, quote, "The rumors are true. I'm finally free."
You did not think this tweet was anti-Semitic. You did not think that he wrote this tweet because he hates or wants to genocide.
But let's not forget the big question on everyone's minds. How will Candace wield her platform and influence in this brave new world? Will she continue to stir the pot and challenge the status quo? Or will she surprise us all with a fresh perspective and approach? One thing's for sure, the world is watching, eagerly anticipating what Candace Owens will do next. So buckle up, because this is just the beginning of an exciting new chapter in the Candace Owens saga, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment of it. Analyzing the fallout. The conservative media world is buzzing with the news of Candace Owens' departure from the Daily Wire, and let me tell you, the fallout has been nothing short of seismic. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill shakeup. It's a full-blown earthquake that's got everyone reeling and reassessing their positions. First off, let's talk about the ripple effect. Owens' exit sent shockwaves through the conservative landscape, sparking intense debates and soul-searching about where the movement is headed. Suddenly, questions about the boundaries of acceptable discourse and the role of influential figures like Owens are front and center. But Owens' departure isn't just about one person walking out the door. It's shining a spotlight on the larger struggles within conservative media outlets. How do you balance ideological diversity with editorial standards? How do you hold public figures accountable without stifling free speech? These are the million-dollar questions keeping everyone up at night.
Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro that has exploded in the open after October the 7th.
Owens joined the Daily Wire back in 2021, so a little bit unclear about what's next for Owens.
And let's not forget about the Daily Wire itself. With Owens gone, the organization is left grappling with some tough decisions. How will her departure affect their reputation? Will they see a dip in audience engagement? And perhaps most importantly, how will they navigate their editorial direction moving forward? But it's not just about the Daily Wire, it's about the entire conservative media ecosystem. As the fallout continues to unfold, stakeholders are wrestling with some big-picture questions about identity, values, and the future trajectory of right-wing discourse. It's a moment of reckoning, and the stakes couldn't be higher. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.